So you're a leader, and every single leader wants one thing, a team that performs at the highest level. But the real question is, how do you actually create the kind of place where that can happen? Well, today we're going to break down a really simple but incredibly powerful playbook that's all about what you can control right here, right now.
All right, let's start with a big one, a real leadership dilemma. What do you think is more important? Should you be focused on developing your team's character, playing the long game, or should you be all about managing their day-to-day behavior, the stuff that's happening right now? It seems like an obvious choice, but the answer, it might not be what you think. Our gut tells us to go for character. It just feels bigger, more meaningful, right? But here's the reality check. You have zero chance of shaping character, of winning that long game, if you can't get the right now under control. The future is built on what you do today. And that is exactly why we're going to focus on the word environment, not culture. See, culture is the outcome. It's the long-term result. The environment, on the other hand, is the cause. It's the conditions you're creating today that will decide if your team sinks or swims. It's what you can actually influence immediately. An NBA general manager put this perfectly. Someone asked him about his job, and he didn't say win championships or find talent. He said, "My job is to build an environment where people can do their best work." That simple sentence completely reframes your role as a leader. You're not just a boss, you're an architect. So here's our playbook for today. It's a simple 3-step framework. Define, manage, and model. We'll walk through each one, and then we'll look at the incredible impact this approach can have on you and your team. All right, step 1 is all about defining. This is the proactive work. This is about drawing the lines clearly for everyone before the game even starts. Neil Armstrong had this incredible quote that just nails this idea. Being just an inch off at the very beginning means you miss your target by 1,000,000 miles later on. It's the exact same for your team. If you're not crystal clear about the standards at the start, you're going to end up way off course. So what does an undefined environment actually look like? Picture a kid's PB football team running onto the field for the first time. It's just total, absolute chaos, right? Everyone's running in a different direction. There's no plan, no cohesion, just a mess. Now contrast that chaotic image with a professional pit crew. It's like watching a ballet. Every single person knows exactly what to do, and every movement is perfectly synchronized with everyone else. That is the power of defined expectations. It transforms chaos into pure, coordinated precision. Okay, once you've defined the standard, we move to step 2, manage. This is the reactive part. This is the real-time, in-the-moment coaching that keeps your team aligned and on track. There's a great story about the Gonzaga basketball team. They were in a huge game, losing badly, just playing completely out of character. At halftime, their coach, Mark Few, didn't come in screaming. He just looked at his team and used 2 simple phrases. Be us, that's not us. It was this incredibly powerful wake-up call, a reminder of their standard. And guess what? They came back and won. And the Gonzaga coaches made this really tangible. They would literally show the players film and draw a line. Behavior was either above the line or below the line. A player yelling at a referee, that's below the line. That's not us. But that same player diving on the floor for a loose ball, that's above the line. That's be us. It's so simple, so visual, and so powerful. Now, here's the crucial part. Managing doesn't just mean punishing bad behavior. It's the constant work of catching people on both sides of that line. You have to praise and reinforce the be us moments just as often as you correct the not us moments. It's a nonstop process of coaching everyone back to the standard you've set. And that brings us to the final, and I'd argue the most critical step of all, model. This isn't about what you say, or even just what you do. It's about who you are. It's about you living the standard you've defined, all day, every day. You have to understand this. As a leader, you are always on stage. There are no off moments. Every single thing you do, every action, every word, even the way you sigh in a meeting, sends a signal to your team. They are always watching, and they are always learning from you. And this is why mixed signals are so deadly. I mean, think about it. The leader who is screaming at the top of their lungs, rule number 1 is to keep your composure. It's kind of funny, right? But it absolutely destroys your credibility. The second your actions don't match your words, you've lost the team. It's that simple. For maybe the ultimate example of modeling the way, Just look at Bill Belichick. After winning multiple Super Bowls, a reporter asked him, "What's left for you to accomplish?" And his answer was just legendary. He said, "I'd like to go out and have a good practice today." That, right there, is a leader who is obsessively focused on the right now. An athletic director named Mike Holder heard that Belichick story and summed it up perfectly. He said, "If I want my team to be in the moment, then I need to be in the moment." You see, you can't just talk about the standard. You have to be the standard. And all of this brings us to the real legacy of your leadership. It's not about the mission statement on the wall. It's about all the little unspoken signals you're sending out every single day. Let's go back to that Gonzaga coach, Mark Few, one last time. Years later, somebody asked his former players what the single most important lesson he ever taught them was. The number one answer had nothing to do with basketball. It was how to be a good husband and father. And when Coach Few heard that, he was completely blown away. His response? "We never once talked about that." And you know what? He was right. He never had to talk about it. His players learned it because they saw it. They watched how he lived his life. It all boils down to that timeless truth. What you do is so loud I can't hear what you say. Your actions, they are your true message. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question to really chew on. The people you lead, the team that is watching you every single day, what are they really learning from you?